Which Denver Nuggets get A's and which Denver Nuggets get, well, less than that? We're excited here. We're going to talk about first quarter grades for the NBA season for the Denver Nuggets. They're really good as a team, but individually, how have they stacked up based off of expectations? We're going to talk about it next here on Locked On Nuggets.
You are Locked On Nuggets, your daily Denver Nuggets podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Welcome into Locked On Nuggets, your daily Denver Nuggets podcast, part of the Locked On Network, your team every day. Thank you so much for being a part of the community here, being an everydayer, and that's going to matter here. You're going to want to tune in on December 8th on this upcoming Monday. We've got some very interesting announcements coming your way. You're not going to want to miss it. On today's episode, we're going to discuss the Nuggets-Hawks preview later tonight. The Denver plays at 5:30 Mountain. You're going to want to pay attention to our analysis there. But really where we're focusing on, Denver's played 21 games so far this season. They're a quarter of the way through the year. What are you thinking about their grades? How do they play? They're 15-6, but how did they get there? Who are you most excited about? We'll talk about that next here. This podcast is brought to you by FanDuel. If you want to be right in the middle of the action this season, visit FanDuel.com and place your NFL bets all season long. My name is Ryan Blackburn, host here at Locked On Nuggets, also over at Mile High Sports, where we're doing something a little bit later today. If you're local, would be awesome if you could make it out. He is Swipa over at Players Choice, doing Locked On NBA, Locked On and doing NFL shows and everything in between. My guy, you're going to the game later today. I'm very excited to hear your in-person analysis there.
Yeah, I can't wait. It's going to be fun. I don't get a chance to go to Nuggets game to all that much anymore, unfortunately. So I'm really, really excited to actually go see everybody play, especially with my guy, Jalen Johnson playing, who I've been big on. You know, I think that, who knows, maybe a month from now, Jalen Johnson, Nikhil Alexander-Walker, and Yeka Okongwu, Giannis Antetokounmpo? Could be.
Or Jalen Johnson's the future Milwaukee Buck. You never know.
They are not trading Jalen Johnson. You are not getting Jalen, good brother.
Man, I mean, if you want to unite Trey and Giannis, then that's the only way to do it. But I assume Trey's on the way out then?
Yeah, 100%. Bye.
Yeah, I mean, no. I think they've made their intentions quite clear with how they've handled the contract situation. But you better get an agreement.
So let me ask you a question, and you have to be 100% honest. You cannot lie.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Completely reasonable.
No, I'm asking. So if Giannis said that he wants to come to Denver, but the only way would be is that you had the authority to ban me from doing Locked On anymore, but Giannis said he'll come to Denver, what would you do?
I wouldn't say that. That is not a reasonable thing. And I also would say no to Giannis, because
he is lying.
That would mean that you're also trading probably Jamal and AG or something.
No, AG, it would be AG and Cam Johnson.
AG and Cam Johnson.
Mm-hmm. And Zeke would be, or Jamal and Zeke, something around that line.
Man. Swipe out here asking the hard-hitting journalistic questions and really
ban
trying
Swipe
to make
with Big Honey. I'm not gonna lie, yeah, man, you get 4 more championships, ban me from Locked On. I don't know.
We'll have you on as a guest every now and then. Well, let's get to the main part of this show. We're going to do some first quarter grades here for the Denver Nuggets. Obviously, I don't think we should focus too much on the guys that haven't played much. So Deron Holmes gets an incomplete. Jalen Pickett gets an incomplete. Hunter Tyson gets an incomplete. And then the two-way guys in Curtis Jones and Tamar Bates who haven't played will get an incomplete for me. I think we can grade everybody else, including David Adelman and the combination of Ben Tenzer and John Wallace. Ben Wallace will have some good thoughts for all of those guys, but I think we should start at the top, sir, with Nikola Jokic. How would you grade Nikola Jokic's first quarter so far?
Like, are we rating him relative to NBA history or himself?
I think you should grade him, and this is for everybody. I think we should be grading him based off of expectations coming into the year and what you have seen since then.
Okay. Did I have expectations he would have the most efficient shooting season ever? No. Did I have the
Yes,
expectation
you did.
No. That he would have the highest playmaking season maybe ever? No. Did I have expectations
think you
that he would lead the NBA in assist and rebounds? No. Yeah. I mean, to leave room for error, A minus.
I think A to A minus is the right call, because we did talk about how the setup that the Nuggets had with Jonas Valanciunas coming off the bench, with Cam Johnson being added, and just a higher cerebral nature of this team. I think we all thought that he would take a slightly step back from the points perspective, but he hasn't on that regard. So like, that has been really impressive. I do think that his defense has taken a step back. And so
from where? From last year or from this year early on?
Oh, I think from like over the course of the first quarter, over these 21 games, I think his defense is lower than I expected. In which case, I give him an A minus to an A as opposed to an A plus.
Yeah, I mean, it's so difficult, dude, because I'm just kind of like, I don't know. It's an A plus because it's, he's doing things never before seen at an efficiency never before seen, leading the greatest offense in NBA history, one of the best half-court offenses of all time.
Yeah.
But then it's like the picky stuff is like on the other end, and also he's second in the NBA plus minus. So the Nuggets are winning their minutes with Jokic relative to better than anyone else in the league other than Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Yeah. So then the other part about it is like defensively, there's definitely been some games where you wanted more out of him. So yeah, I'll say you can leave room. Nobody's perfect. Whatever. So A minus for Michael Jordan, I guess that's kind of how we just have to do it.
I mean, if you just grade Michael Jordan on like his top 20 games of all time, then yeah, you're going to get an A plus. But he also had other games, so that I think is an important note. Jamal Murray, who I think if we are ranking reasons for why the Nuggets have started 15-6, maybe better than expected, I think Jamal Murray's got to be at the top of that list. So I'm giving him an A plus.
Yeah, I mean, an A for sure. Plus, I don't know. A is just like Jamal Murray's been phenomenal this year, man. It's kind of like, today I was going through the list of guards in the league this year and like who's doing what, and it's kind of like, I don't know. Austin Reeves is currently averaging 30 on 69% true shooting right now. So, and then Donovan Mitchell 65 on 31, and SGA is 32 on 67, I think, right now, or something like that.
Pretty good.
So, but then Jamal, you look at the last few games, especially I posted on Twitter for everybody to see. Jamal this year is at 25, 7 assists, 5 rebounds, 50% from the field, 45% from three, and 89% from the line. 63 true shooting, bro. He's on pace for a 50, 40, 90 season maybe. Like, his isolation game's been top tier. His ball handling's been top tier. His playmaking has been elite. Like, he's been a dog. And then he's also a plus on the court without Jokic this year. That's a big deal. So, yeah, I mean, he's everything I think Nuggets fans were hoping he would be. And I think even the most hard-pressed Nuggets fans, I think, even have to be impressed with what Jamal has done this year.
100%. Cam Johnson is another, I would say, controversial one. We all expected him to start slow. I think that was a pretty consistent claim that we had, especially here at Locked On Nuggets. We knew that this process was going to take a while. However, I do think that the grade should still build in the idea that he started slow. So I'm going to give him a C minus to start the year. This is about what I expected, except like it's not great overall in the overall landscape of things. So I would say C minus, and especially from a volume perspective, it hasn't been where I thought it should be.
Yeah, I think that's a little low. He's a C plus for me, and one of the reasons is, Jokic, when he talked about Jamal coming back from injury, first 25 games was going to be rough. Cam, after the first, basically the last 8 games, he's at 15, 4, and 3, and he's shooting 55, 53, 82 from the field, which is 71. He's like, they're winning those minutes well. I just think the volume is a tricky story because outside of Jokic and Murray and Gordon when he was playing, they've really diversified the offense. Jonas Valanciunas has kind of been like, in some ways, like their third scorer, when Jokic isn't in the game and all that. So, yeah, I think it's a C plus for me for Cam. I think he's been a lot better on the non-stat sheet stuff that I really appreciated this year and some things I like. But I do think the uptick the last few games has been like a B or more. But I think that for me is like a sign of where he's headed with his roster.
Where would you go quickly on Christian Braun and Aaron Gordon? Like, would you
Christian
go?
was at he was at like a D plus for me, like a C minus to start the year off. Like, the numbers bear it out too. I just think they were good with him on the floor though. Granted, like they were dominating, but he wasn't performing the way that I think you would hope he was at that point.
I firmly agree. Part of me wants to go incomplete because he has missed a significant period of time and may have bounced back from that. However, he didn't bounce back from that. He got hurt. So there's part of the story there. With Aaron Gordon, he played a little bit more time, but also this is kind of what we expected to happen, or maybe not expected, but like this is just, I think, part of the built-in reality of him as he gets older is they may have to maintenance him a little bit.
We should probably talk about what his on-court play in the next segment, because I think that would be
because on court he has been ridiculous.
Yeah.
So there's no question about that. When we come back, why don't we talk about Aaron Gordon's on-court play and then the bench for the Nuggets and their first quarter grades next here on Locked On Nuggets. All right, so let's talk about DoorDash, folks. This season's heating up, and DoorDash has a way to keep fans in their bag the whole way through. Whether you're watching highlights, the tunnel fits, or just your favorite player, DoorDash makes the entire season more fun. Because every player has their bag. With DoorDash, fans have one too. DoorDash keeps your snacks stocked, your gear fresh, and your watch party vibes absolutely on point. We saw some really good DoorDash things with Jamal Murray over the course of this last Wednesday, and I think that he and a lot of the Nuggets, 3 different players to score 50-plus points. They're keeping you in your bag for sure. There are nights when your team maybe they're stressing you out. Let DoorDash become your post-game therapy. Sometimes you just need to hit dessert now. In the group chat, if the group chat says pull up, DoorDash makes you make sure that you show up prepared. Snacks, cups, even a phone charger for the friend who's always at 2%. That's me. I'm always at 2%. From tip-off to overtime, stay in your bag and order on DoorDash. Get snacks, drinks, gear, whatever gets you through the season, delivered right to your door. DoorDash, in your bag all season long. We are also brought to you today by Doer. Folks, Doer has been amazing for us. We've been so excited to have them here as a local sponsor, someplace where you can go into the store locally here in Denver and celebrate the holidays with some Doer jeans, because the holidays are here, and this year I am not stressing about what to wear because I'm wearing Doers. Whether I'm on the go, traveling, lounging at home, or going out to a nice dinner party, I know that the Doers are going to take care of me. And if you didn't know, now is the time to be aware. I can really tell the difference when I'm wearing these jeans with the high quality temperature regulating fabric, the Cool Max technology that they have. They keep you warm, but I don't overheat. And so that's really great for somebody who overheats and gets really cold at the same time. Doer's just going to keep me regular. I really appreciate that. They are the original performance denim. They give you the best of both worlds, combining classic jeans wear style with the kind of comfort and performance from athletic wear that you deserve. It's time for you to experience the comfort of Doer yourself. Check out the Doer store location here in Denver at 2621 Larimer Street. It's very exciting. You could just pop right in, try on jeans for yourself, and mention our promo code LOCKEDONDenver in store to get 15% off your first order. Or if you're not local, check them out online at shopdoer.com/LockedOnDenver for 15% off. That's shopdoer.com/LockedOnDenver. We'll be right back here at Locked On Nuggets. We're back here. Segment 2 of Locked On Nuggets. Thank you so much for tuning into the show, folks. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Would really, really appreciate it. Swipa, we were talking about Aaron Gordon heading into the first segment break here. Let's talk about Aaron Gordon on the court. I know that he's been out for a reasonable portion of time, but now he is like, so if you want to evaluate him on the on-court play, what are you looking at?
An A. He was averaging 19, 6. And he was shooting 53, 44, 87. and they had a plus 165 on the floor. Aaron Gordon, to this day, has not played in a while. He is still top 10 in the NBA in plus minus this year. The Nuggets on court with him, they were phenomenal. They were dominating. They were doing everything that you were hoping they'd be able to do this year with him. Honestly, as soon as Aaron Gordon went out, Nikola Jokic's defense dropped off. He has a plus 21.9 on-court net rating this year.
That's
per
crazy.
data baller.
That's a crazy number, folks.
So, definitely an A, brother. Definitely an A.
Okay. I 100% agree. I think if we're forced to make grades for Christian Braun and Aaron Gordon, I think I would give probably a D plus to Christian and probably an A minus to Aaron Gordon. I do think that the injuries are what they are. You can't really over-index on that, but you have to talk about it for sure. Okay, sixth man for the Nuggets this year has been Tim Hardaway Jr. Where you at with Tim?
An A. I mean, this is a veteran contract, very much like Russell Westbrook last year, just without the volatility. He doesn't have the ceiling of Russ with the playmaking and everything else in the defense. But I mean, I remember I said when they were winning games and on their little run, he's probably flipped 3 games for Denver this year.
Yeah.
So and even if his on-court, the Nuggets are 11.5 points better with him on the floor this year. He's coming off the bench. Like, he's been a blaze from the 3-point line. Even if you remember the last game, bro, like, he was doing pull-up middies and all that kind of stuff. Like, Tim Hardaway Jr., was the last dash signing for this team, and he's made an instrumental impact. He's currently averaging more points than Cam Johnson this year. He's shooting 46% from the field, 42% from 3 off the bench, and 90% from the free throw line. You're getting that next to Jokic and Jamal Murray, and their offense is going haywire when he's on the floor with him.
His next highest true shooting percentage in his career so far has been 58.9%. This year he's at 62.4. Like, it has been really, really impressive. The Nuggets have gotten exactly what they needed from Tim, and I believe his defense has been better.
It's been fun, yeah.
Like, I do think that if we're highlighting where some of their breakdowns have come from a defensive standpoint,
have been him.
He makes mistakes often in terms
of Cam Johnson.
coverage.
Yeah.
However, one-on-one, just stepping up and guarding somebody, really, like, if he knows the right rotation and makes the right rotation, he's been just fine. So I think it's an A. I think it's absolutely an A, and a borderline A plus for sure.
Sure.
Bruce Brown, kind of on the other side. I don't necessarily think that Bruce has had the start to the season that he was envisioning. He's gotten sick over the course of these past couple of weeks. Hasn't really played as well to his personal standard as he would expect. Where would you have Bruce?
See, I mean, he's not shooting well. Last year this time I had Russ at like an A, so if I'm doing the inverse, it's a C. But I think his defense has been largely been good, but the offense hasn't been there. He's shooting 30% from 3 so far, which is fine. Like, remember last year he wasn't, when he was with Denver, he wasn't shooting super well the regular season either. So definitely a C. But I still have enjoyed Bruce Brown being on the team in the minutes he's played with this roster.
He makes the occasional defensive mistake, but largely he has been Denver's best defensive guard, I think. And just having somebody who can get into somebody and get around screens and be pesky on a consistent basis, it's slowed down opposing teams a lot. So I do think that helps. The shooting around the rim and the driving, he's gotten blocked, I think, more than anybody on the team, it feels like. And so he's still trying to figure out the nuances, still trying to figure out where his spots actually are. So if that continues to progress, then we'll see. But I do think a C is probably the right call because, again, he's one of the only guys that's providing consistency on the defensive end right now. So that definitely helps. Jonas Valanciunas, probably the other main veteran bench guy that we should talk about. From an offensive standpoint, I think he's been exactly what they're hoping for. From a defensive standpoint, I think it's been worse than I would expect.
Really?
Yeah, I knew that he was relatively immobile, but he makes Jokic look mobile. And that to me, I think it's not great. Because Jokic, I think, gets got on a lot of these times where guys are going right around him. But there's a lot of opportunities that Jonas is missing on the rebounding end. I would say that, where he doesn't grab some rebounds that I would expect him to be able to get to because he's not able to get to them.
Well, yeah, that's interesting. That's definitely a perspective thing because he currently has a 24.9 defensive rebounding percentage, and he has an 11.1 offensive rebounding percentage, which, compared to where Jokic is right now. Jokic is at 26.8, and offensive rebound on own miss, he's at 9%. I personally think Jonas is a better rim protector than Jokic has this year. I can like tangibly remember noting in my notes that Jonas has protected the rim at a higher level. Jokic this year, teams are shooting at the rim. Let me see right now. At the rim when Jonas is there, players are shooting 3% worse than their effective field goal percentage at the rim when Jonas is on the floor, as opposed to when Jokic are shooting 1.4% better. And that has felt that way to me. I have felt that in the rim contest that he's had. And some of this is he's just he's longer and more vertically able than Jokic is. And so I think teams sometimes think they're running up on Jokic, and Jonas, he takes up more space around the rim. So, bro, I mean, I'm not going to lie to you, bro. I've been turning in this year. I'm just kind of he can't do the mobile stuff, but in the paint, he's been a better rim protector than Jokic has this year.
So you put something in the group chat a little bit earlier about Jokic's on-off net rating.
Yeah.
And Jonas is on there for that entire time. And I'm just kind of wondering because Denver was meant to kind of build up this bench and build up some different looks and different things. And so they've staggered other starters with Jonas on a pretty consistent basis, but the actual impact for whatever reason has not been there. So I'm trying to figure out why that is, if you can give Jonas a B or an A or whatever.
So Jonas right now, they have a 117.8 offensive rating. So the defense has actually been it's a 113.9 with him, but it's a plus 3.8 net rating for data baller. So some of this is just
is that because Jokic is just so high?
Yeah, I think people are maybe missing that, and maybe one of the things that maybe narratively, not necessarily you, but just people outside of the building, the Nuggets are currently on just data baller. They're 14 points better. They have a 129.8 offensive rating with Jokic this year.
Yeah.
So I think people are that's why I'm saying Jokic is getting graded on this insane curve, because we almost are discounting the offensive impact he's having, and then I think overlooking, not overlooking, but maybe overvaluating the defensive mishaps there, because they're literally, bro, they're burning through the ceiling offensively this season. But Jonas, bro, that's why I didn't want to push back too strongly, but I'm telling you, if you go back to watch some of the clips of Jonas and the rim protection, you can tangibly feel the difference that he has at the rim when players are trying to attack him. Just because, again, he's so big, and that's probably the biggest part of it.
I'll have to go back and watch it a little bit more, because it's perfectly reasonable. I do think it's fair to question. I think in terms of soaking up those minutes and making sure that that's been on points, he has done his job. So I would give him a B probably. I wouldn't give him. I don't think I would give him an A.
Can we judge him on a Nuggets backup center curve?
Okay, A+. Never mind.
A+. Greatest thing we've ever seen, maybe?
Sure. That is an excellent point.
Wait, and to be fair, the best we've had is Mason Plumlee, and I think he's been way better than Mason.
Yeah, I mean,
maybe not way, but better.
On an individual basis, but the minutes are still they are still losing these minutes. Yeah. So we have to figure out why. Okay. Let's take another break. When we come back, we'll wrap up with the rest of the roster and then do a little bit of Nuggets Hawks preview on the other side here at Locked On Nuggets. All right, folks, let's talk about FanDuel. NFL Sundays move fast, one big play, and suddenly everything feels different. That's what makes live betting with FanDuel so exciting. You're not just watching the game, you're reacting to it in real time. With FanDuel, you can place bets as the action unfolds. Every drive, every momentum swing, every highlight moment. One good example for that, not just in the NFL, but in the NBA, when the Nuggets underperform in the first half, that third quarter, you're going to get some nice little momentum swings. So that you're going to get that with a whole bunch of other NFL teams as well, including those Denver Broncos, who have been second half warriors this year. Live spreads and money lines adjust instantly at FanDuel. Player props update as the guys heat up. You can bet next touchdown scores, drive results, totals, and more. It keeps you locked in every snap, every drive, every responsibility. So if you want to be right in the middle of the action this season, visit FanDuel.com and place your live bets all season long. FanDuel, the game moves fast, and so can you. We'll be right back on Locked On Nuggets. All right, back at it. Final segment, Locked On Nuggets. Thank you so much for tuning into the show.
You also know you're pushing an agenda right now, right?
What is the agenda?
You have purposely left out Peyton Watson.
Wow.
Because you know that if you bring him up, I'm going to be proven right about what I've been telling you about Peyton.
Man, I got to be honest. I went through the 5 starters and then I went through the 3 vets, and I was like, okay, that's where we're at. That's good. Okay, let's focus in on Peyton Watson, because I mean, dude, like if you just grade him on the bench performance, he gets like a D. If you grade him on the starting lineup performance, he gets an A, like an A+.
Brother, Peyton Watson this year, just for context, he's averaging as a starter in 11 games this year, 15.3 points, 6.4 rebounds, 1.9 assists. He's shooting 54% from the field, 42% from 3 on 4 attempts a game, and 83% from the line on 64 true shooting. Who does that remind you of?
Christian Braun.
Yeah, and he's shooting better from 3 than Christian Braun on more attempts, mind you.
The attempts matter to me, man. I will say, as somebody who was like the resident, like I was on Christian Braun Island and still am on Christian Braun Island. But if there is one criticism I've had of Christian throughout this process, is that he has not upped the 3-point volume on a consistent basis. Peyton Watson immediately has, man. He immediately has taken on that responsibility and been willing to take those shots, and they've gone in. Like, it's been great.
And he's a better threat as a shooter than Christian too. Like,
yeah,
that's also some of it. Like, he just takes enough that the team's like, all right, at least we not sprint out there, but we got to get out there. I'll say it like this, man. And I'm at this point with Peyton. I have him as an A because he is filled in better than anything he would have done last year or 2 years ago, and he's been their best shooting guard. I'll say it like this. I'm at the point where Peyton, where Christian comes back, he doesn't get a starting job back.
Oh,
like he has to get back into the rotation just like everybody else, but there's no way you're taking Peyton Watson off. If he's playing like this, it will be completely unfair, and it will be nothing but money if they take Peyton Watson off the floor if he's playing like this for Christian Braun. And I guarantee you that if they do, it's 100% going to be an issue. Because if he was playing bad, then I can be with you. If he's playing like this, and then you bring Christian in, and then if he's still mid, because you can slow play that, bringing him off the bench and doing whatever. But if he plays bad, and then you try to put Peyton Watson back in the starting lineup, well, then now you're messing with both of them a little bit. I think, bro, you just gotta let it rock. Let something be special.
What if the ultimate vision here is to bring back Christian Braun, eventually get him back into the starting lineup, and bring Cam Johnson off of the bench?
No, it's not happening. They're not bringing Cam off the bench.
No,
that's not happening.
You think that they're willing to slow play it with Christian because he is locked in, because he has been paid, because he doesn't have to worry about it?
Because he's young. But here's the thing: Peyton and Christian got drafted in the same year, brother. Like, you haven't earned. I'm respectfully, like, I'm just being honest with you. You've earned some leeway with this team, but you haven't earned so much cachet that you're just automatically just gonna get your spot back and start over Peyton.
Because man. That's what
Peyton. But here's the thing, though. Peyton has done everything they've asked him to do.
I agree.
Off the bench as a starter, played a 4, played a 3, played a 2, and on top of that, here's the other part about this. This is how you know the coaching staff trusts him more than Christian Braun. And Christian's a good player, so this is not about like Christian slander at all. They have never asked Christian to be the lead guard to bring the ball up. They've never asked him to consistently bring it up against pressure. Peyton Watson was doing that against Andrew Nembhard. Peyton Watson has done that versus the Houston Rockets. Peyton Watson has taken the responsibility to guard Alperen Sengun, Kevin Durant, Amin Thompson, and Reed Shepherd all in one game. Christian could not do that. So what you're telling me is I got more defensive versatility than you. I've been playing better offensively than you have. And if you look at me sitting on the floor next to Jokic and them, the teams treat me more of a threat than they do you, and you can't dribble. The thing is, I love Christian. The thing I was hoping for, Christian will come back this summer, bro. Not even no tween, like bink, no, nothing like that. Just like, can you get into the action, bro? Peyton is confidently getting them into the play. Now he'll have turnovers, doing entry passes, but that takes a while to learn. Murray sucked at entry passes for a while. He's literally doing everything and doing more than what Christian can do just because he has more ability, brother. I'm just at this point saying, just being fair, I think Peyton has to continue to rock. You tell me what you think, though.
Talk about agendas, huh?
No, but I'm being real. Like, I'm just trying to be fair to Peyton. Like, if you just tell me, like, in a vacuum, if you just been outplaying somebody like this, money is money. I get it, but
he's been better, and like maybe they do have the flexibility to be able to do something like that because they already played Christian, because they already paid him. So,
and then like I said, if you're really trying to be a smart front office, like, oh hey, we have a 6'8" two-way wing. That's a really good shooter. That's a really good starting two guard. That's worth about 2 first-round picks or so, and you're looking to add somebody to your whatever.
Oh man, 2. That's not how.
DeJounte Murray went for 3 for. What did he go for? 3 unprotected to Atlanta.
3, but he was seen as a star guard.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Interesting take. I
want to hear your thoughts.
I give Peyton Watson an A-. I do think the starting lineup has been A to A+. Like, we do forget, like, he did come off the bench for a while and was not good coming off the bench for a while. And that's kind of the role that I expected to ultimately come back to eventually. I hope that he continues to play 25 plus minutes a game off the bench. Like, that would be my goal for him if I were the Nuggets. But like, I kind of just like, you follow the money, man. That's just how this is going to go. So we'll see. Let's go rapid fire. We're probably not going to get to Nuggets Hawks today. Let's go rapid fire on Spencer Jones.
A+. God,
A+.
Goodness gracious, good sir. You're on a 2-way starting next to Yoke.
Yeah.
And playing really high level defense, and you got to be the Lou Dort fouling everybody all the time. Bro, and then you developed an offensive game. You're an actual threat to score. Please. Matter of fact, let me look at bro. I'm sure I don't even know if they have the numbers updated. Spencer Jones this year, they don't even have it. But I just typed in Spencer Jones as a starter. They don't even have the numbers, brother.
Bro, that's brutal. He's an A+. Like there's just no question about it. 2-way contract guy coming in, immediately supplanting somebody like a Zeke Nnaji in that role. Which
as a starter, 54% from the field, 43 from 3, brother, and he's averaging 9 points a game, and so that's like
giving defensive impact. Like it's exactly what you're looking for. Like you could absolutely come in and like it's one of the reasons why, like if you were to try to sell a Peyton Watson trade, for example, like you could sell Spencer Jones.
Remember, he started at the 2, the 3, and the 4 since preseason.
Super positionally versatile. Zeke Nnaji, I think I have to give like a D. It's
giving an F mean? Probably. I don't want to be mean to him.
It is mean because like he has done some stuff and he just hasn't been asked to do very much.
Brother. Okay, can you grade him like an NBA player, please? That's what I think sometimes. Me too.
Okay, here's what we'll say.
Yeah.
12% usage rate, 63.4% true shooting, rebounding of 10% at the 4 purely, which is pretty comparable to Peyton, although he's been more at the 2. Like Aaron Gordon's at 11.8, so he's a worse rebounder.
The Nuggets are basically 17 points.
1.4% steal rate, 2.7% block rate, 24% turnover percentage. 24. He's leading the entire team and just pretty close to leading the entire NBA at this point.
Bro, it is all here.
I know.
Remember, if he just simply watched Spencer Jones and would just like, let me just do that.
Spencer Jones knows what he's doing, man. He also just has the ball handling confidence and comfort, and I just don't think that Zeke has that. So I'll give him a D-.
They were 1 pick away from Tyrese Maxey.
D to D-. Don't remind me. Okay. Jalen Pickett gets an incomplete. Mm-hmm. He's played 56 minutes. Julian Strawther, I think, gets an incomplete as well because he's been hurt for as long as he has. And we also don't know how long the back has been potentially impacting his year. So I'm giving him an incomplete as well. I don't think that he should be graded. It's not reasonable.
We didn't do
David Adelman.
I think a B. He's first year coaching for real. So I think a B 82 grade is about what I would give him. I think he's still learning matchups, the rotations, the challenges. Momentum. He doesn't quell momentum well yet. But again, it's like learning. Malone didn't do it well either. Phil Jackson and them didn't do it either early on. It's his first year.
John Wallace, Ben Tenzer.
Oh, hey. I mean, I'm sure they're probably locked in now.
Do you dock them for not bringing back Russ?
No.
Okay. I think it's a fair question to ask.
No.
Okay.
No, there's so much more than, unfortunately, like we knew he wasn't coming back though.
Yeah, we knew it.
Yeah.
Okay. Prediction for Nugget Talks tonight, really quick.
Man, Nuggets win. Jokic has another 48 and 14 game like he did last year or something like that. And then I got to hear people talking about like, well, what about the defense? Like, well, they were plus 25 when he was on the floor. Murray cooks. Now, Nikhil is averaging 20 a game this year, y'all. If you ain't know, Nikhil is going crazy. Jalen Johnson is a star. They got Dyson, too. They're a good basketball team.
I don't know if Jamal's going to cook. You got the combo of Nikhil and Dyson out there, and you've got some switchable bigs as well. We'll see. He probably will, but I think this is the toughest matchup he's had in a while.
I got named this. This is you. I am being realistic about what happened. I'm saying I know that's what happened. That's crazy.
I have said some very positive things about Russ.
Yeah, lately.
Yeah, just I kicked him out the door on the way out and disrespected a Hall of Fame veteran and just somebody who just trying to put food on the table for his kids. And it's just I'm just a disrespectful guy. So is what it is. All right, man. That's all we got here. Do you have any final thoughts?
Nah, man. L. Ryan Blackburn for trying to ostracize Peyton Watson.
One guy that you're watching for Q2.
I want to see how far Murray can take this. I want to see if he can move into all NBA talks.
That would be sick. I want to see. I'm now very curious about this Braun Watson starting dynamic. That is what I will be watching when Christian comes back. All right, that is going to do it for this episode of Locked On Nuggets. Everybody, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button on the way out. Make sure stay focused on December 8th. We've got some fun things coming out there, and you're going to be very excited about being an everydayer. Everybody, have a good weekend, and we'll talk to you guys later tonight. Matt will talk to you later tonight on Locked On Nuggets.